Good evening, Sassy Ketonians. I'm home. I know that it's late, and I know that Kim Berry is live right now, so I may not have very many people on here. But I wanted to make sure that I got on here tonight and did a good live. We've been missing them the past few days. Hello, whomever that is. Hi, Lynn. So I'm back home. I am missing the baby terribly, but I'm going to be fine. I get to see her again next Friday. So, it has been a wonderful weekend. The trip home was much better than the trip up there. I made sure that I had my snacks sitting up close, but I didn't really need them. My son-in-law made me breakfast this morning, and he made me scrambled eggs and bacon, and I had my BPC, and so, hey Becky, hey Edna. So the trip home wasn't bad at all. I drank the rest of my BPC. Y'all, I've got my fingers all curled up because I didn't run heaters while I was gone. I don't run heaters if I'm not at home because it just runs power bill sky high. And I won't leave a heater on if I'm not here because I only have space heaters. So I come in and I turned the heater on in my bedroom. I was like, boy, it's pretty cold in here. Turned the heater on, I set all my stuff down and turned around and looked at it. Hey, Ruth. And it was 33 degrees in my bedroom. So that was 10 minutes ago when I walked in. So my fingers are frozen. So I'm just sitting here staying warm in my little spot until it gets warm in here. But I found pumpkin seeds at Food Line while I was in Fayetteville. We don't have a Food Line here, but I'm sure that there's probably pumpkin seeds at Ingles. I don't know. I haven't really looked because I try not to shop the specialty stuff at Ingles. It's just too expensive. But I found them at Food Line for $2.79 for a big old thing, and so I got those, and I had those, and I had beef sticks and the little cheese pieces. And so coming up the road, I drank my lemon water and the rest of my BPC and noshed on beef sticks and cheese and pumpkin seeds, and the ride was fine. I never got hangry like I did the other day. So it was a pretty decent trip home. I mean, it's a long trip. It's a 6-hour drive, but it wasn't too terribly bad. All the way home, I listened to podcasts. So I listened to several different ones. Tonight, I listened to the Keto for Normies podcast, which is Keto Connect. That's Mega and what is her boyfriend's name? That's bad. I can't think of it at this very moment. But I listened to the Keto for Normies podcast. I listened to Leanne Vogel's podcast. I listened to several of hers, actually, because I was coming across the mountain and it was dark by then and I couldn't see what was going on my phone and I didn't want to mess with it. So I was into a place where I couldn't change things. So I just listened to a bunch of hers. And then I started out listening to... who was it? I listened to the two keto dudes, the two podcasts that I hadn't heard yet with Carl and Carrie Brown, and listened to a couple of those. So I got my fill of podcasts today and got to hear lots of stuff, and there was one that I really enjoyed, all except for the end of it, and it was the Leanne Vogel podcast with Jessica Ash from January 13th, 2019. It was about how important hormones are. And it gives an excellent explanation of how hormones in women change and fluctuate during keto and how important it is to cater to those hormones. And all of that was well and good, but towards the end of the podcast, I don't support what they said there because they were talking about carb cycling and this kind of thing. And no, I don't agree with any of that because that's just silly. Why would you stay keto all week long just to carb cycle, you know, and knock yourself out of ketosis and have to start all over again? that would just raise your cortisol levels because your body would be in turmoil trying to decide what it was doing. So I don't agree with that. But, because, I mean, they talked about fasting. They talked about progesterone and how important progesterone is. I'm sorry I had to leave her too, but she's in good hands. And she was doing really great. She had a good night last night at home, and she was really great today. And I got some really good lovin's today, so it was good. So that was that stuff. Okay, now I've got my pages of notes again where I'm writing in the dark. So I'm just writing all over papers. Oh, that was something that they talked about in one of the podcasts. I don't remember who it was that talked about it. But, hi Tara. And somebody had asked the other day about doing keto without a gallbladder. All right, and we talked about ox bile and how important it is and how it can help. Well, there was a lady on one of the podcasts who lost her gallbladder just months before she started keto, and she was talking about how they explained it to her. Okay, and they explained it to her, the gallbladder is the storage facility for bile. Bile is actually produced in the liver. But what happens after you lose your gallbladder is that the liver is continuously making bile, but it's like a drip, 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 drip. Okay, whereas in the gallbladder, when you eat fat, it squirts out as much bile as you need to emulsify that fat and let it go. So they had talked to her, and what she had done to help her on her keto journey, and it had helped immensely, was she was taking digestive enzymes with lipase as well as an ox bile supplement. But she said that to determine how much, you need to talk with your physician, whomever you're working with in regards to your digestive. I'm sure that you probably have a GI physician, and talk with them about what the proper supplementations would be for you of the digestive enzymes with lipase and then some ox bile to help you to emulsify that fat. She said the other thing she does is when she first started, she would use the easier fats to digest, which would be fatty meats and really sticking to the animal proteins because they emulsify faster, they emulsify easier with just the drip, drip, drip of bile that you're getting from your liver. And then as she adjusted, she started adding in some MCT oil, and she upped her coconut oil, and she upped her butter intake and ghee and that kind of thing. And so she just kind of started out a little slower with her fats, and she used more animal proteins. So maybe that would help you. I knew that someone had asked and that I had answered the best I knew how, but when I heard them talking about that, I was like, I need to share that most definitely. So I threw it at the bottom of a page when I was coming down the road. All right, what else did we find? What else did I write down? A lot of stuff that I wrote down don't make a whole lot of sense. It was just one word. Okay, so we've talked a lot about why did you start keto. Last night I was saying I want everybody to write down their why and to, make yourself a bookmark or put something on the refrigerator or on your bathroom mirror or on your bedroom door, whatever, to remind you of your why every day. The thing about keto is most people come to keto targeting weight loss. That's what they come to keto for. That's what attracts them to keto, is that targeted weight loss, that super fast weight loss that they see. But then they end up staying keto for all the health benefits. Well, the thing is that the truth we're trying to get out there and what we're trying to share with the world and what we want doctors to understand. And that's why I think that Heal Clinics and the Adapt Your Life group is so important right now, is that it's more about the healing and the health aspects with weight as a side effect, which I've always said that. But if we can get people to understand that and then see that, oh, so this will actually make me feel better first. Sure will. You will feel 10 foot tall and bulletproof long before you look bikini ready. Okay, I'm definitely not bikini ready. Never gonna be bikini ready, y'all. I'm too old for that mess. But I'm more confident. Okay, so Edna, and I'm sure that's because of just having that drip, drip, drip. So talk with your doctor about the best supplements you can get, the best digestive enzyme with lipase. Talk to your doctor about that and see if he can't supplement that for you. I mean, you can order digestive enzymes online. You can buy some at the store. But I would dare say that your doctor could provide you with something much better. And my question to you is, you never reach your fats, but are you satiated? Do you stay hungry? Or do you feel full? As long as you're staying below that 20 grams of carbohydrates and hitting your proteins, if you can just get to your BMR, then that may be what you have to do at this point to make things work. Hey, Levi. So you're getting hungry at night. I wonder if maybe for you, if maybe like a scrambled egg with some cheese, that doesn't have so much fat and it's got enough protein with it that it would help it to digest, and maybe have that towards the end of your evening so that you weren't so hungry. Or even maybe just I'm good, Levi. It was a long trip, but it was a good trip. I didn't have any trouble today. I only had to stop once because I drank a lot of water when I'm driving. And so, well, at least you can try that, Edna. And we're going to keep working to find something that works best for you. Are you seeing the benefits of keto? I don't know how long you've actually been doing it. I don't have all my notes in front of me right now because I literally ran in the house, dropped all my stuff, and just grabbed my notebook that I take notes in out of my purse. I don't have my file box here. Because if you're already feeling the health benefits of it and you're in ketosis, I think at this point we may just need to do a little tweaking for you to find something that works for you until your body adjusts to the fat, and start slow with your fat until your body adjusts to it, so that you can ramp that up at some point. The biggest thing right now is just keeping you above your BMR so that your metabolism doesn't drop. Oh, that's wonderful. You've already lost 25 pounds. That's awesome. Levi, how are you doing? Hey, Jennifer. I made it home. Jennifer posted the other day, it's time for me to get home. Well, I'm here. And next week it'll be a little easier, because next week I'll remember to take my tripod with me. and have myself set up to do my lives like I want to. I won't be sitting in a corner. But next week, next Friday nights, well, I won't be doing these lives next Friday night, because our 31-day challenge ends on Thursday. Ooh. That's when I'll go back to doing my weekly lives. So my weekly lives are on Saturdays. So, that's crazy. That's crazy. I didn't even realize we were that close. I mean, it just hit me. I'll really miss seeing everybody every night. I hope everybody comes over to the Sassy Keto Nation group. Everybody that wants to. I say that, I ain't even got it started yet. I ain't even decided how much it's going to be. It's going to be a subscription program, and I haven't even decided what it's going to be. I'll still do lives on Saturday, and anybody that wants the 3 lives a week will be doing those in the Sassy Keto Nation, and I'll be starting that up. I'm hoping I'll have enough time Tuesday to start getting all that set up and get the parameters set for it and everything, and how we're going to do the subscription and how that's all going to work, to figure out how we're going to do the subscription program. So I'll miss doing these daily things too, because I get to see y'all every day and see how everybody's doing. And now, even when we end, y'all, keep checking in. Hey, Angie, keep checking in on Sassy Keto Nurse and Friends. Keep checking in over there. We can still see each other over there and talk to each other in posts and comments. And then check in together. Everybody can check in together on Saturdays. But the daily one will end on Thursday. And on Thursday's when I'll be giving away the... Oh, hold on. Thursday night's when I'll be giving this one away. It's the 23andMe Personal Genetic Service, and it will come with a 69. I have had great participation all month. Now, there's 55 people that were in the challenge, but I'd say there was probably 8 or 10 that really participated in posting and getting on the lives every night, and really taking it to heart and just really putting themselves first and doing what was needed. And I believe all of them have seen a great amount of a success this month. I have several that started mid-month, and I even had some that started this past week. So it's been very eye-opening to see how everybody progressed and how different it's been for me this time. Like yesterday when I was telling y'all about I just felt funky yesterday. And, I decided I don't think it was the hospital food, because I sat right there and watched her make all that. I believe it was probably something from the food truck. I had that brisket with no bread. I got the brisket and cheese with no bread, and he did do it with butter. I saw him do it with butter, and it was the Amish butter. He had the log butter is what he used. But I wonder about the brisket. What was the brisket seasoned in? What was in it? Were there preservatives? He told me that the cheese was cheddar and Monterey Jack, but it was all just in a tub there, so I don't know if it could have been the fillers in the cheese, because it was shredded cheese. So maybe it was something in that did that to me yesterday, because my ankles was swelled bad. But that went away. I woke up this morning, no swelling, no tingling in my fingers or nothing like that. So I figure it was just something in that. But I woke up today and I feel great. And I don't have a scale, but I feel like I feel different today. And it may have just been because I got a really good night's rest last night. But, which is surprising in a house with a brand new baby, huh? But she's a good baby. And she was in with her mom and daddy in their room, and I didn't hear nothing. Bree and them came in there one time to get something out of the changing table. But I didn't even know anybody existed. When I went to bed last night, I went to bed at like 10:30. In fact, I got to a point that I said, all right, guys, I hope I don't offend nobody, but I got to go to bed. And I went to bed about 10:30. And I think it was around 2:30 or so when they came in and got something out of the changing table. And I heard them come in, but I went right back to sleep. I woke up at 6:30 this morning. I have felt wonderful all day. Thank you. She is absolutely gorgeous, and she is such a sweet baby. Bree brought her in to me this morning, and after she had fed her, and she says, Mama, I figured you'd want some time with her this morning. So Bree brought her to me. She said, I'm going to go take a nap if that's okay. I was like, you go take a nap? I've got the baby. Well, she just fed her. So I changed her diaper and swaddled her up in her little sleeper in her receiving blanket, and she conked out. And I haven't posted it yet, but there's a picture that I took. She slept in the crib the whole time Brianna was sleeping, so I got to sit and look at her. Why, thank you. All my kids resemble me in some way, form, or fashion. Hannah, I think, looks most like me, my youngest. My oldest is the second to look like me, but she's much darker skinned, and she has a much thinner build than I do. And then, of course, Bree, she looks like me in my features, but she's naturally dirty blonde. She doesn't have dark brown hair. She's got blondish hair, and she's my only child that has green eyes. She has like hazel eyes. All my other kids have dark brown eyes, like mine. And then my son, he's got my eyes, but really that's about all Justin got from me, I think. Because he's tall, you know, he's 6'2", and real slender build. And well, I'm telling you, Angie, it's not stopping just because the challenge is stopping. And February is when I'm going to get the subscription group set up. But I was thinking about doing February, and this is a question now, y'all. I don't think I can do every night again in February, but how about if we did maybe twice a week? You think so, Levi? He's a good kid. I love him. He's gone through some rough times, but don't all teenagers go through rough times? He's getting it all together now and about ready to head out on his own. It's so hard for me to believe he's as old as he is. But I was thinking about doing like 2 lives a week in February and having it be, and do the separate thing just like we did the transparency challenge. And instead of it being a challenge, it being a separate support group, and do Love Yourself February, since it's the month of love, you know, Valentine's Day and all that. And doing Love Yourself February. And maybe just doing 2 nights a week, because I know that my patient load's going to go up this month for a little bit. Not for the whole month, but part of the month. And I've got a crazy busy month because every weekend of this month I've got stuff going on. And maybe we could just do 2 nights a week for the Love Yourself February, and then I could do the regular live on Saturday for Sassy Keto Nurse. And of course everybody from Love Yourself February would be in it too. But I'm just trying to decide what kind of parameters to set for that. I've been coming up the road. 6 hours is a long time, y'all. And I was in the car by myself listening to Keto Podcast. So I'm sitting there thinking, what can I do for February since I don't have the subscription program started yet? I have all these people who's just started and who are fresh to keto. I got to keep them motivated, you know, keep everybody going, and keep this this camaraderie going. That's what has been so fun about this month. And it's like I told Levi earlier, you know, we had 55 people that signed up for the challenge, that came over to the challenge, but really only about 10 that have really participated this month. But the ones of y'all that have been incredible, and y'all have supported each other and encouraged each other, and y'all have been there to just be so transparent and so honest about your journeys, and it's helped everybody, you know. And for me, it's just been eye-opening for me to see how everybody is so different. Because yes, we were very transparent and everything on the challenge and in our post, but I also had a lot of people that were in the challenge that did not post, that contacted me personally through emails and messages. You backslid, Edna? That's all right. You just jump right back on. There's a ladder at the back of every slide. Just climb back up that ladder and start all over again. It's all okay. We are all human. Hey, Beth. We are all human, and we're all going to make mistakes. We're all going to slide a little bit. And it's just like, you know, you go to the park and you climb up the little ladder up to the slide, and the slide goes off this way, and then there's the little ramp thingies that go across this way, or the monkey bars, or climb back up that ladder and start again. I get mine on Amazon just because they're the same price, whether I get it at Kiss My Keto or on Amazon, and I have Amazon Prime. So when I order it there, I do it on my subscription program, because you can subscribe and save. And I have it set on 3 months, because I get a lot of stuff on my subscribe and save, so that I get a discount through that. I knew I would lose people to Dr. Barry tonight, because his thing popped up on my phone as I was coming home, and I was like, crap, he's going live early tonight. Which I knew I was going late, but he went early tonight. Well, we've just really been kind of catching up. I only had the one, and I only drank half of it. That one that I had in the live, that was the one that I had bought on the way, and I only drank half of it. I haven't had any more. Water. This is, well, it's water with lemon in it now. It used to be BPC. But, and see, that's, everybody is going to do stuff. And you just got to think about it like a children's playground. Climb back up the ladder, and don't go down the slide this time. Go across the monkey bars. Or go across the little rampy thing. Just go a different way. But we're all going to get there one way or the other. My hands are itchy, y'all, because they're cold. So how was everybody's weekend? Oh, and for those that didn't see it, this is what you'll be getting. The winner of the last drawing on Thursday will be getting a 23andMe personal genetics service, and you'll be getting a $69 gift card with it. Y'all hear my cats in there? Sounds like they're having a party. And that's a great idea, Edna. That's a great idea. You know, just like you do your why, do your backslides too. Do the stuff that, or your triggers. That's a really good thing to keep in the front of your mind, or your triggers, the things that can cause you. And that's the reason that on the trip home today, I made sure before I left the parking lot at the apartment complex, I was like, okay, I've got my pumpkin seeds, I've got my beef sticks, I've got my cheese, I've got extra water and lemon. I was drinking BPC at the time. Angie, the BPC is different for everybody. But hold on just a second. And so I made sure that I had everything I needed right there. And set my notebook and my pen up so that I could reach them if anything good come on the podcast, and started my podcast up, hit the GPS, and off I went. And I made it, I think I drove about 3 hours before I had to stop. So I stopped and relieved myself and did my squats, and come back to the car and drank my water and headed on down the road and got the last 3 hours done. And Jennifer, Levi, that is so much for everybody, stress and anxiety. But what you have to find is your triggers, or what is it that causes that stress and anxiety? What triggers that for you? And that's when you start digging. So that's a challenge I would love to give everybody is, this month we've been transparent and we've posted how we felt during the day and things that have happened during the day that have maybe give us a little pause. Or I know, Jennifer, you're dealing with a head cold right now. Brittany Ellison, she woke up this morning with the stomach virus. And Jennifer's going to school. I would suggest for everybody journaling. My little notebook that I do every day when I have my day, there's a little place in here that has notes, and I journal in it. I put in there, how my day went, what I did, what bothered me, or what could have triggered me, and that kind of thing. And sometimes it's just nice to just be able to get it off your mind and wrote down somewhere. Angie, back to you. BPC. Bulletproof coffee. Starting out with the bulletproof coffee, you want to do a combination of good fats to put into your coffee. You can start out slow. Make sure that you have a way to blend your coffee to emulsify the fats, because if you just put it in there and try to stir it up, you're just got an oil slick on top of your coffee. So you either want a milk frother, which you can get on Amazon for like $12, $15, or an immersion blender. Now you can get a Hamilton Beach immersion blender like the one that I gave away the second week to Brittany Ellison at Walmart. They're $23, but you get both the immersion blender stick and a whisk stick. So it's just a stick blender, but it has those two attachments. Believe me. And how old's Justin and Beth now, Jennifer? Because I know that Justin and Hannah are about to, well, my hair's already turned gray, but Hannah's staying at Brianna's house this week. Justin hadn't been home in almost a month now. He's living with a friend. So this week I'll be here all by myself, and I hate to say it, and I don't mean it to sound rough, but I think maybe I'll get some of the stuff done that I need to get done this week, because I won't be taxiing. I'm going to miss her terribly, though. Hannah's the one that I sit and talk to every night, and we chit-chat. But I guess I better get used to it, huh? She graduates in May, so I'm going to be empty nesting it here before long. I hate that I feel that way, as far as that, but sometimes you just need a little break. So I just have to feel bad about it, I guess. So, Angie, what I put in my BPC, if you just do a regular size BPC, I do this great big tumbler, but my body can really handle that kind of a fat load. Not everybody just starting out can. If anybody else, if some of the people that just started keto this month tried to drink my BPC in a 2-hour window, they would think they didn't have a gallbladder. They'd be in the same shape Edna is when she eats fats, and they'd be in the potty all day. But my BPC, I'm going to cut it in half. Okay, would be a tablespoon of butter, a tablespoon of coconut oil, half a tablespoon of MCT oil, I would still do the half a teaspoon of pink salt. Then I do 1/8 of a teaspoon of no salt. I do coconut oil. Yeah, 2 teenagers. Isn't that lovely? Coconut oil, MCT oil. Oh, then I do 1/8 of a cup of heavy whipping cream. And I either do extracts. I really like hazelnut extract. That's what I've been doing this week. I just do a few drops of hazelnut extract into my coffee. Or you could do any extract that you liked, really, for flavor. I used to do Torani sugar-free syrups. And every once in a while I still will. But they're a little too sweet. And I've been trying to avoid sweet at all this month, just to get myself back into the keto hang of things again and get away from that sweet craving. So this month I've only been doing extracts. I haven't been doing the Torani sugar-free syrup. I just do the hazelnut extract and just pour a couple of drops in there. So I don't do any sweetener in my coffee at all. My coffee is savory. And no, you don't taste the salt. I mean, it don't taste salty. It sounds like it would because I put a half a teaspoon of pink salt and 1/8 of a teaspoon of no salt in it. But I think that the salt with the coffee, it takes away the bitter, and it just, to me, it just gives it a good taste. And then you hit it with an emulsion blender or a milk frother. This weekend I used the milk frother that Jessie got me for Christmas. It was the first time I had used a milk frother, and it worked perfectly. Absolutely perfect. So, and you froth it up or use your emulsion blender and hit it for about 30 seconds. And what that does is it breaks down those fats and emulsifies them and combines them. And it makes it kind of like a latte. It makes it kind of foamy. And then I always try to drink my BPC within a 2-hour window, because you don't want to stretch it out, because then you're triggering that insulin response. Because my BPC has almost 700 calories in it and dang near 70 grams fat. So I get half my fat in my BPC. But that's the way I start my day. And I absolutely love it. I've never drank coffee a day in my life until I started keto. Yeah, my BPC has that much fat in it. But I absolutely love it. And then I drink water with lemon in it for the rest of the day. And that lemon helps my stomach. Because I used to have really bad GERD and really bad. And I guess that my stomach is still, you know, last Monday, I was out of work because of that episode that I had. And I got to thinking about it. And the more I have looked into it and thought about it and looked back on my journey, and I went back and read my journals for the first 2 months that I was on keto, because I kept a journal my first year. That's what I was writing my book from, is my first year of keto. And I had kept a journal. And I went back and read my journal those first few months and saw that until I started using apple cider vinegar and lemon juice regularly, that my GERD was still acting up. And once I started using the apple cider vinegar, and see, I still have a little bit of ugh. So I'm thinking that that is my GERD still acting up, which means that I don't have my microbiome switched over in my gut yet. I've got to get rid of that other bacteria that I procured during my steroid phase and get rid of that bacteria and build up my good fat bacteria that I had when I was really good and fat adapted. So I'm having to be really conscious about making sure that I'm eating good fats, good quality fats. And that was something that I wanted to talk to y'all about tonight, is the quality of the fat that you intake, because that is very important. You know, you could just eat 3 sticks of butter a day and, you know, whatever, and get those fat grams. But to do this thing to where you are getting some really nutrient-dense food that's going to give you the fats that your body needs. Number one, your fats need to be diversified. That's the reason you hear me say I do coconut oil and MCT oil and butter, and I eat avocado, and I try to do a little of this and a little of that and a little of this and a little of that. Avocado oil, coconut oil, olive oil. I don't eat olives, but I try to cook with olive oil. I make some dressings with olive oil. I make some, when I do like creamy stuff to put over meats, I try to do that with olive oil and avocado oil, and then just add in some cream cheese or some heavy whipping cream and maybe an emulsifier of some kind that will help to break it down so that it makes it a nice creamy something to put over meat that's got a good fat content to it. And I try to keep my fats diversified, because that way your body can use all those different types of fat molecules and use them everywhere that they need to be used. With your protein, same thing. Try to diversify your protein if you can. If you can't afford to right now, I completely understand that. If all you can afford right now is to buy 73.27 ground beef and eat that as your protein, I completely get that. Okay? If all you can afford right now is to, you know, spend the money on the bacon to get good quality bacon, because the Wright's bacon's not cheap. 1.5 pounds, I think, is $7.99, and the 3-pound thing is $16. And so that bacon's not cheap. Eggs, however, are a pretty good price. So, you know, you do the bacon and you do some eggs and you get some 73.27 beef and chicken thighs. You know, if that's all you can afford to do right now, do that. Do that. But when you can, try to get some good quality steak. Try to do, you know, a ribeye or a New York strip or something of that nature. Try at least once or twice a month to get you some good fatty fish. And that's been my downfall. Now that I found those tuna muffins, I'm going to try doing those with salmon. I'm going to see if I like that. And try a little of that. And I may try doing some of the smoked salmon with cream cheese, doing the rolls. I've seen that, and it looks like maybe I might like that. I'll try it. You know, I'll try anything, because if you get good diversified fats and proteins, then the carbs are, you know, all you're eating for carbs are some vegetables. And I don't do a whole lot of vegetables, but when I do, I want to make sure that I'm pairing them with something that's going to help with digestion. And so when you're talking about your proteins, if you're doing steak compared to ground beef, steak, it's a little harder for the stomach to process. You know, it takes a little more with digestion. There's more fiber. There's more fibrous tissues there. There's more connective tissue. Not to mention there's more collagen in steak than there is in ground beef. And what that does is it helps your body to process that fat, and it gives your stomach a little, or your small intestine a little longer, because when it takes longer to digest, that means that your small intestine has longer to absorb those nutrients, because that's where all your nutrients are absorbed, is in your small intestine. When you say GI trouble, are you constipated? It's just us. It's not really, it's completely public. But constipation can be an issue for people. Up in that water, diversifying your fat, finding more fiber. I mean, you know these things. You're a nurse, and I'm just speaking to the choir here, but other people have that same issue as well. And so if you have problems with constipation, y'all, up your fiber. Try doing a big salad 3 or 4 times a week. And in that salad, you want the majority of your salad to be those dark leafy greens. Add some, cucumber slices, some green pepper, or all the peppers if you want to, bell peppers. Do some pumpkin seeds or some sunflower seeds in there. Do some boiled eggs in there. And then add some good fats. Put some avocado. Do a whole avocado on a big O salad. Cut up an avocado and dice it up and put it in there. And then do a really good oily dressing. You can either do the ranch. If you're a ranch person, you can do my Sassy Ranch dressing. Or you can do an oil and vinegar and just use apple cider vinegar with some good quality olive oil. And put those together. Add some, or do some, you can do a little balsamic. Balsamic can get a little carby, and it's just the way that it's made. But you can do some balsamic if you'd like. Apple cider vinegar works better just because it balances stomach digestion a little better. It works better on the GI tract, and it helps with balancing the gut microbiome. But add a little, you get a little acid, and you add it to that oil, and now you can do olive oil, you can do avocado oil. I am too. I'm a ranch girl too. It is a learning process, and with the water, I was so in that boat. I hated water, like hated it. I was a person, honest to goodness, I probably didn't drink water at all before I started keto. I mean, I knew I should, but for me to just pick up a bottle of water and drink it, not really. Okie doke, Angie. But now, when I started keto and I started reading about the benefits of the water and how it helped, especially how it helped with to get rid of the waste from the fat cells and everything, then I was like, okay, so I've got to figure out a way for me to drink this water. And that's when I found True Lemon. And now with True Lemon, I really enjoyed that. And for a little while, I did True Lemon, and I also did Payure. I carried Payure in one of those little condiment cups, and I'd do a pinch of Payure into I'd take my bottle and I'd take a swig out of it and do a little pinch of Payure into it, and then I'd put the True Lemon in it and shake it up, and it was kind of like a lemonade. And then I got away from the Payure. I got to where I wasn't using the Payure. I was just using the True Lemon, which is just lemon crystals. There's no sweetener in it. And then I got to where I was just doing regular old lemon juice. And I was okay with that. Levi, are you still on here? Levi, I know when she lost all that weight before, she went from drinking sweet tea to unsweet tea. And it was just a matter of her cutting it back just a little more and a little more. And now I did, over the weekend, make some tea, because they had tea over there, but I couldn't drink it unless it was sweetened. That's why I keep a case of water in my car. I keep a case of water in my car all the time, but I keep it under a big blanket in the back of my car so that the sun don't shine on it, so I ain't got to worry about the BPA crap and all that. But I keep a case of water in my car all the time. And this water just came from my car, and it's just as cold. It's just ice cold, and the inside of my car was toasty warm. But I keep it under that big blanket. But I used Payure and made me, because I made a big gallon of tea for them, and I just did a little Payure into a small container for me, and it wasn't bad. Which I haven't, in the 18 months that I've been on keto, I haven't drank tea. I'm just not much of a tea drinker anymore. Now it's just lemon water for the most part. I do lemon water all the time. But a lot of that too is because it helps my gut. I take those ACV capsules, the apple cider vinegar capsules, and I take 2 of those in the morning and 2 of them at night, and then I drink lemon water all day. And it helps to balance my gut microbiome and keep my GERD down. And I forgot to take my capsules with me this weekend, so all I had was my lemon water. I didn't have any apple cider vinegar. Well, see, you could always do hot tea. Have you tried doing the hot teas cold? Like to carry with you? Some of the fruit teas, now that is something I still do. I still do I know you don't like peach, but I absolutely love the Celestials tea, the country peach. Love the taste of it. I even made an ice cream out of it last year. And I'll take and make, I'll do all 3 packs that are in the little thing. I'll do all 3 packs of those and make a quart of tea and set it in the refrigerator. And then I pour it. I'll drink about that much of my water and then pour that peach tea in with it. Oh, it's so good. And I do that instead of doing the like the flavorings, like the Crystal Light and all that, because Crystal Light has some bad stuff in it. See, now I tried the lemon zinger, and I kind of like that. But yeah, if you like the hot teas, that's an option for your water, is to do the hot teas and just store one, or just even put it in an empty water bottle that you can carry in your book bag, so that when you do your regular water, you can just pour a little in it, or do them in the morning, because those don't go bad. And so just do them in the morning and do you 2 or 3 bottles and just drink the top out of your water so that you've got room, and pour some of that tea in there, and then you've got flavored water, and you know that it's a flavor that you like. And maybe that'll help with the water intake. They Lord, y'all? Hey, Amanda. Okay, so this is not going to be the only thing that's in this final giveaway. You're going to get this with the $69 gift card, and that is to help pay for the Ancestry. Now, if you want the health and Ancestry, and you'll have to do the research on this, guys, because I haven't done a whole lot. I bought 2 kits, and one's for me and one's for whoever wins this month. But I've got to look into what is in the health and Ancestry, because it's $169. So I'm going to send the $69 gift card with this for whomever wins it for the Ancestry, because that's what is going to help you determine. It's the one that shows the genes, like the MTHFR gene. It shows if you have what regions and what type of ancestry you have, whether it be a primal ancestry or a Neolith, that kind of thing. And it kind of helps you determine how your body processes things. And once you get it, then you can get the genetic report, and you can find out, kind of what's going on with you, and figure out. Now, the health and Ancestry, I'm not real sure what all comes with that. And so I've got to look into that. But if you wanted to do the health and Ancestry, then you would have to pay for the rest of that. So that's just up to you. And once you get it, that $69 gift card, it's going to come with it, and you can make the decisions that you want to make, whoever wins it. And it's going to be a big giveaway, because it's got everybody that has done a check-in the entire month of January. That's those that started on day 1 all the way through day 31 until the live on Thursday evening when we do that giveaway. So it's going to be a big one, but it's going to be a big giveaway because there's going to be other stuff that goes with this. It's not just going to be the 23andMe. It's also going to contain a few other things that I may have picked up. Because y'all know me. So we've got most of a week. We've got 4 more nights, and they'll be good ones. And now these last 4 nights, I really want y'all to dig in and kind of really let us know, on your post and everything, how you feel this month has gone. How you feel that, one of your check-ins this week, I would really like for you to take a minute and talk about your journey this month. Talk about what this month has done for you. And then I think the Love Yourself February would be a great idea, and I think I'll go ahead and get that set up this week so that we can start that. And I'll do 2 lives a week for that one. I know I can't do 7 nights a week because, like I said, next month, February is a busy month for me because there's a lot of traveling that I'm going to be doing in February. I know that I have 6 trips to Atlanta with patients. I know, and that's just as of now. As of right now, I have 6 trips to Atlanta, and I have 1 trip to, I think it's Montgomery, Alabama, that I've got to go with 1 patient. So it's going to be a crazy thing on that. Well, I know for sure, Jennifer, that it's going to be less than $15 a month. I'm leaning towards $12 a month because it's going to be 12 lives a month because it's going to be 3 a week. And I'm thinking 12 lives a month, $12 a month. That's $1 a live. That's not asking much. And the way that we'll do it, I'm leaning towards that. I haven't put it in stone yet, but I'm thinking it's probably going to be either 12 or $12.50, and that's just to cover my service charge for the payments because I get charged for those. They charge me a certain percentage to process payments. So, but that's what I'm thinking, is like $12.50, something like that. And then I'm going to get the Patreon started, and that's going to be where the subscription program will be, is through the Patreon. And that's, my Patreon is going to be the Sassy Keto Nation, as long as that hasn't been taken already, which I don't think it has, but I have to register it and find out. But as long as that's not taken, I think that pretty much describes us as the Sassy Keto Nation. So I think that's what we're going to call it. And then we'll do 3 lives a week. We'll be involved in that. 1 will be an education live, 1 will be a book live, and 1 will be a cooking live. So I think that would be fun, and it's something to look forward to. And then next month, for February, for sure, we'll do the Love Yourself February and do 2 lives a week. But I don't know if the Love Yourself February, I may just do on Sassy Keto Nurse and not do a separate group. I may just do Sassy Keto Nurse, period, as Love Yourself February, and do the 2 lives, and it end up being 3 lives a week, because it would be like because I'll be doing the Saturday live anyway. So it would end up being 3 lives. Because, y'all, I don't want to give this up either. I'm enjoying myself seeing you guys every night and having this accountability and this support and the encouragement and everybody together. But February, y'all still think about it now. I don't think I have anybody going to Tennessee with me. I know that there's a couple that's interested in going to Tennessee, but we'll probably all have to go separate just because of my work schedule and that kind of thing. But that is coming up in 2 weeks. Not this coming Saturday, but the following Saturday is the Adapt Tennessee. And then the following week, which is only 3 weeks, guys, is the Atlanta. So anybody that's thinking of going, you need to make sure to get your tickets this week and we need to start figuring out what we're doing there. This week I'm going to work with some friends of mine and do the find out about t-shirts and see if we can't get t-shirts done for the ADAPT conference, and then have t-shirts available for those who want to buy them. I'll do a product thing on Sassy Keto Nurse for t-shirts if I get them made, and if I find out how much they are, and I can afford to do that right now. So we'll do that. Please let us know and highlight if you can for those that can't go. Oh, you mean for the t-shirts? Yeah, I'll get the t. If I get the t-shirts done, I'll probably have them done in bulk. So I'll have them for those that go to the ADAPT conference. They can just get them from me personally, or those that are local too. And then I'll have it set up on the page to where I'll set up on the services page where you can just order them. Because I'm working on that. And the seminars, I know that I can't video the seminars. I've already asked them about that, because you know how Nisha and Ken and Nisha, so many times they go to these things and Nisha will video it and do it live. I wish I could do that, but that is prohibited from what I understand. Now, if we get there and it's possible, then I may not go live. I may just record it and then post it in a private group or something. Who knows? I know that you can't do, they're not doing online, like a webinar. They're not doing that. But, and that's the reason that they don't allow live feed, is because they're not doing a webinar, and their stuff is all for profit. So, but it's 9:30, and we got us in a good live tonight. Phone didn't die. I was able to plug it up. And next week, I promise y'all, while I'm in North Carolina next week, I will take my tripod with me, and we will get our live in next week. It'll be on Saturday. That'll be my Sassy Keto Nurse live, and it will be there on Saturday evening. I don't know if it'll be from the bedroom or the kitchen, but we'll figure it out, because my regular Sassy Keto Nurse live is not a kitchen live. But you never know. It'll be whatever strikes my fancy that night and what we're doing. And I will get the parameters of Love Yourself February set up, and I will talk with the people at Patreon and get my Patreon set up and figure out what we're going to do about the Sassy Keto Nation. So I love y'all. Stay sassy. Keto on. Sassy Keto Nurse signing off.